They are both 1-0, seeking that second win in the group stages. I'm Furious K alongside Tracy M. Tracy, Stags has improved quite a bit and showed that against Druis a few nights ago, whereas TruantGamer and the Gob one faced off, and that was a matchup that was, I think, less than 5 minutes apart too. So far the group is setting up to be quite competitive, I would say.
I mean, when I saw this group, I knew there was going to be a tough one, and you're in this group too, so a little bit of scouting on your part, I suppose. But yeah, definitely a lot of good players in this group. Not where I'd want to be if I had entered.
Certainly a few of those groups that nobody really wanted to fall into. This one, what it may lack in star power, it makes up for in experience and or in a lot of seeds played over the last couple of weeks, months, or perhaps the entirety of this year as we are off.
And of course, we start on the wood sword screen, the normal start screen. 47 rupee candles, so that's cheap enough that if we get some money quickly, I imagine they might buy a candle instead of grab one out of the take any.
Yep, already seeing Guerrilla on the overworld. That is potentially a bad sign for the dungeon setup. We'll see if the Wizrobe and Darknut split up or if they go together.
My least favorite enemy to see on the overworld is a Guerrilla, because I feel like they're relatively easy to deal with in dungeons, and they just snipe you in the back when they're on the overworld.
Level 5 with the instant bait block and a key door to the left. This screen is definitely an easy pirouette, so probably going to see that. Level 1 as well.
Stags. Level 1's a little bit better find just because you're a little more likely to find something just laying there on the floor, like, oh, I don't know, a sword or a wand or something. Or a boomerang.
Yep, going to stay vanilla early on. That is very useful for at least the first little while. I don't think it's going to kill much in this dungeon set with the Stalfos and Super Ropes going a little bit higher up in the roll.
The dream is when you get that early boomerang is that the blue Octoroks roll down and get your bomb droppers.
Looks like we're going to go straight for the Armos check as well. So we'll see if we get an instant upgrade of the boomerang or if we get something a little bit better.
Another candle shop. We don't care about that because we got a much better one near start.
Yeah, so the shops there, I think this is definitely the type of overworld where you're really actually hoping to find a money-making game right next to start. And in this case, we see it quite a ways away on Truant side, but maybe there'll be one under a burn bush because we don't have that one large secret to work with. If it's not exactly the best, we're going to need to find some way to make a little bit of money and maybe get some keys, a bait, in the event of level 5's bait block being a thing, perhaps wood arrows, multiple other things you buy outside of hints, which are, of course, worthless.
Yeah, nice with this money, we don't have to spend them on hints. Okay, looks like Stag's gonna head over probably gonna head over to the east. Maybe check those east Armos out, hoping for something good there.
Meantime, I think Truant's probably going to find the boomerang. I would expect him to also pick it up. We do find the wood sword. I think that was vanilla 1 that we stepped into there.
And Truant getting red bubbled, which doesn't matter for the moment, but if he doesn't restart or get it back... Fun fact, the picking up the sword does not give you your sword back when you've been red bubbled, so...
And we'll see if that level 1 screen is kind of tricky because it's one of those one-off spots sometimes. If you go east to get to the Armos, sometimes you go around that spot until much later. So we'll see if Truant goes that way early or if it takes a while.
Yeah, I feel like that spot and then the open desert cave by the fairy fountain are ones that are really easy to miss one of those because sometimes you path around towards one or the other. It's hard to nicely path both of them in.
Another level here near start. This one's level 6. This is perhaps my favorite in second quest because there are a reasonable amount of open doors here, there are also a lot of rooms that can potentially drop keys. And with low money, you need all the keys you can get.
Oh, if that had been the item, this could have been like a 2-room 6. Okay.
Well,
Oh, I was gonna say grab the Triforce and get out, and then the Wizard said, "Nope, you're not grabbing that Triforce yet."
and Truant does go to level 1 pretty quickly. I think this is going to be a pretty easy Triforce get in the end, though. You could take that first one and
Yes.
iframe your way the rest of the way. We might have the item here as well.
Just gotta keep your sword long enough to kill the red Wizrobe, and then the moblins aren't nearly as bad. Okay, grab the clock. No, don't
Nope.
don't grab the clock before getting hit by the blue bubble. Yeah, not that he was trying to, but it just right out, it was like one of those things. It's like grab the clock, but then he gets bopped into it by the wrong bubble, and
yeah,
very annoying.
Yeah, I might have considered just dropping the bomb on the last moblin in the room and checking, but it's not that difficult to go back in and clear. Just annoying.
And it's just a red herring. True, in the same room right now. Gets himself a bomb drop, which is really nice. Keys rolled up to just 1. So we don't have the beefy keys, but we can't kill him with the boomerang, which is annoying.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take the clock and reset the room for the Wall Master, I think. Let's see if that's faster than what Trent does.
No keys, and this room wouldn't have even dropped a key, even if it... Yeah, this room just can't drop the key anyway. Like Truant's gonna go ahead and take this staircase. Oh, nice. Not almost useless staircase. I thought, okay, it was a little bit further away. The screen up here, unfortunately, Truant not knowing this is a shoot room, is going to use up a bomb here.
Yeah, gets a sneak peek at the blue Wizrobes in the room too, so knows he will need at least 3 hearts. And this is either another red herring for both, or it might actually be what we're looking for. Nope.
A lot of push blocks that haven't been push blocks so far in this dungeon.
It looks like a potential ladder block in this room that Truant's in. Not sure if it's going to be one. You definitely can't go around this side that Stags is working on because of the right-hand staircase. However, I don't think bomb down or right in this room that has the old man.
At this point, I might just go ahead and grab that Triforce, come back later if I need to. Without a map to know where to bomb, without the ladder to go through that one room. Yeah, you want one more heart there. Without a candle to do a candle boost, you just need to be... I think the best way to do this is just take the one hit and get the Triforce.
Yeah, waiting it out like this is not going to change much, and he actually got there despite taking the second pop. Truant did.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty close to the same time.
Yeah, he got his health reduced to 0, but he got it, so it counts. I don't think it's one screen away from start, so it really won't make much of a difference to Stags. It'll be a quick 30-second redive and out.
I see a little bit more of level 5 now. And And that bait block is looking a little bit more interesting with the old man room next to start going to the left there. We do get a stair. It is, of course, the transport, because it is level 5. Level 5 doing its thing.
This... Well, you might be able to bomb out of this one.
Yeah, Truant says, no, not gonna waste my bomb. Oh, maybe he is. No, he wasted one bomb.
Yeah, no sense bombing right, because you can take this path up in the
Yeah.
room that he's entering back into. Well, now you gotta go back.
And our friends the Wizrobes in the dungeon once again. For some definition of friends. Like we're gonna go down first.
Funny enough, you can't actually bomb to the right in that transport room, so that's not the answer. It's some other way around.
Yeah, there was a ladder block going down, and it could just be that we have to buy the bait. Not what you want to hear in a second quest money seed.
Yep. Something we will revisit later, I believe, for both runners. So wait until it's absolutely necessary. Maybe we'll find a book somewhere that'll tell us.
Back to level 1. We still don't have a key to go open that door going down. But we can kill some enemies. Oh, the rope's rolled up.
Yeah, the best bet here is to clear this room, go up. If it shutters behind you, clear the room if it's pretty easy. And then you can force open that room if you want to with the key door.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
It does shutter. The room is a bit annoying to clear, so maybe not this time. Go forward.
And it's the Triforce. And we're gonna get an item here. Unless it's... unless we have a segment.
I've already seen the triple segment 2 on the night, but it's not to be this time.
Yeah, we have. Ooh, well, okay. Keys are no longer an issue for Truant.
Yep, and this level 1 is finished. With the boomerang and the any key, we can just take that Triforce and run.
Stags, meanwhile, finding level 3. Any key nice, not just for being able to open all the doors, but like that room Stags was just in, with the Stalfos with the key. You're gonna grab that key. Truant will be able to just ignore that room completely and not even complete it. So we'll save time. I think that's a bit of an underrated aspect of that any key, is just the time you save for not having to clear extra rooms looking for keys.
Yep. The only pitfall to it is it will also reduce the amount of rooms you clear for Compass and Triforce gains. You'll skip some difficult rooms, whereas you might still just try and brute force your way if you really need any sort of resources whatsoever. Like Stags can clear rooms right now for bombs, keys, and for Triforce pieces, or Compass map, whatever you can get.
And the virus should not go down to a bomb, which is always annoying.
Red key's also not 0 HP.
Also of note, we have not found any sort of heart yet. Not on the floor, not in the take any. And we still don't have enough money to buy that candle, so it might be a while, because if they see a candle and a take any, they're probably picking it up. Both in the same room trying to take down these Poles voice. And it does push. Are we segmented, or is this the item? It's the item, it's it's just the boomerang. We've already got the wood boomerang, the magic boomerang. You know, some people have their preferences, but it's a bit of a walk to get that. Neither one picks it up. I don't know, it's your preferred boomerang, but...
Yeah, it got a smirk out of Stags, I think, for that reason, but just no doubt.
12 rupees for the small secrets. Nice when that rolls up, because we get 2 extra small secrets. for the lack of the extra 2 large secrets.
Level 7 on the coast. Going to go in. I thought maybe might check the screen above to see what we're going to have to wait a while to actually get to.
Yeah, I think if you have the ladder, you definitely want to go check that first. Without the ladder, not being able to pick it up, I'm not sure it makes as much of a difference whether you do it before or after you actually tackle this dungeon, if your intent is to tackle this dungeon. Some people will see level 7 and still early enough that they might just say, nope, I don't want to do level 7 yet.
Yeah, I could see the value in looking at the Armo statues for a little while still, but clearing this is still fine. And we get a key.
It's a map of level 3, which looks like a bit of a weird version of vanilla level 1. Nice bomb upgrade. I was just saying in one of the earlier races that these bomb upgrades in this flag set are sometimes trapped. Now that one's not very expensive, and you know, if we get a recorder later, easy enough to go back and get it. Book on the coast. But I have had more than one occasion where I've bought that bomb upgrade and regretted it because I just had no money the rest of the seed.
Yeah, some seeds, that's definitely a trap. Other seeds, that's definitely something to consider.
Absolutely. 28, bit low for the mid-secret, but so not great money this seed. We haven't seen the large secret, of course. That'll only be a one-shot deal, and you hope you don't get it when you've already got like 200 rupees.
On the bright side, the small secret almost balances you out. Hey, that's
Oh, wow. Well, that would have been nice to have before we found the wood sword. Could have grabbed the candle, the actual free candle.
Yeah, it's definitely too late now, but I definitely agree if we'd gone Armros hunting first, maybe it would have worked out. Instead, we're not going back towards level 7. We're going to continue on and find 8. This should be a fun map, as always.
You know, blocky middle, and then, or blocky, and then this kind of bit of an appendage. There's the other bomb upgrade. It's nice that in both cases that they're right near start, because then the idea of coming back for them, you know, either when you have the money or just because at a time when you just need bombs, you know, go back for the bomb upgrade instead of buying them from a shop, get a couple extra in the deal.
Yep, knowing what I know about Stags, I'd say he's probably less likely to get the bomb upgrade. We'll probably push towards max rupees if we don't find any defensive upgrades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blue ring is tough in this flag set. If you get a good enough large secret, then it can be affordable. It also depends on, you know, in his case, he hasn't gotten the any key, but if he gets that any key, and then of course, you know, do we have to buy arrows? Do we have to buy a candle? All those things sort of add up, and if you don't have to buy any of those things, then a little bit easier to afford these bomb upgrades and such.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of why being pushed out level 3 really doesn't hurt Stags. Truant took quite a bit of time after Stags left to get that Triforce, and in that time, Stags has gotten a lot more information about the seed.
Mm-hmm. You know, by the time Stags gets back to level 3, he might have equipment to make it a lot faster. He's already got the white sword, if nothing else. Right, Truant's going to go ahead and see this book first, and then check out the cave and find level 7. We'll see if he stays in here any longer than Stags did.
My guess is probably not, just because of the amount of combat early in here.
And yeah, I mean, no map. It is level 7.
Every time Stags passes this bomb upgrade, he's had 6 or 7 more rupees.
Having not bought a candle yet, or found one from a take any, kind of hard to justify grabbing the bomb upgrade, but I've done it before, you know? Sometimes, you know, see shiny bomb upgrade, grab shiny bomb upgrade.
Yeah,
In
here
fact,
comes.
he's gonna go ahead and buy this candle right now. I like it.
Yep, not surprising to me at all. That kind of had enough of that. Level 8, the Innishu room with the red dark nuts isn't exactly a fun time.
Mm-mm.
And there is the money-making game to the right of start. So that is a friendly place to put that. It's not as important to Truant given the any key, but for Stags, depending on how long it takes him to get back to it, that might come into play.
And giving up on level 7, I don't blame him at all. It's not so far. You know, there's a dig dogger block in there that might be required. So at this point, we'll come back there later.
I wonder if he'll be expressive towards the white sword find at about 20 minutes.
Truant now with enough money to buy a candle if he so chooses to. I still haven't found a take any. There's that white sword. And he's just gonna go ahead and save with that white sword. May go straight to buy the candle here. Yeah, and gonna do that right now. You have the money. You stick around and do some more exploration. You could lose it all to door repairs. You want to get that money spent right now.
Well, the Gorillas do snipe you on the overworld, but the Lionels will also up their game to match.
Yeah, Lionels too. I kind of prefer them in dungeons. I just feel like with the tiles and the half tile combat, I just feel it's that they're a little bit easier to control in the dungeons than the overworld. You know, in the overworld, typically you want to get through the screens as quickly as possible, unless you're specifically looking for bombs or money or something. Okay, Stag's into level 1, so he should find his any key.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn some keys to find more key doors, but that's just taking. I guess taking him down the wrong path for a short amount of time. There's not a lot of rooms in this one.
Yeah, chat asking if the blue ring is ever cheap. So the blue ring, like most items, rolls plus or minus 20. The difference with the blue ring is, of course, you can't hold more than 255. So anytime the blue ring rolls above 255, that's why you see it so often at 250. Is it'll just go to 250 in those situations. It can roll as low as 230, and I have seen it happen. It's definitely nice if you're looking to buy one if it's in the 230s, but I'm not sure I'd call that cheap, but more like cheaper.
Yeah, it's not great. 239 is fairly low. The cheap key means nothing at this point, but it would have been nice to see if the any key wasn't so freely available.
We found some any roads from Truant. Oh, nice when you get one that takes you all the way up to Death Mountain. Even nicer if it knocks out that power bracelet spot instead it's one screen off.
I'm still rooting for the seed where the power bracelet is the Armos item and that screen happens to be the wood sword cave. It's one of those worst case scenario places to put it. Bait in that shop is really cheap. So are the arrows are a little bit more expensive, but they're still not max rolled, so that's not bad.
Yeah, and remember, we might need that bait in level 5. So good to know where there's a cheap bait shop. Now, neither of our runners can afford anything right now, with 1 rupee between them.
All right, Stags is going to find his way to the
Yep, right here.
staircase. And with that, we'll have also finished off level 1, and we'll be pretty content to see that item in there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens when you because you're paying attention to one thing, and the Gorilla, or in this case the Lionel, will just snipe you. I believe that he was also pretty close to where level 8 is. We'll have to get back there later.
So what's Stags play now? Level 5?
Take another stab at it, but honestly, I'm not sure I'd go back in here without either a ladder or the bait.
It hasn't seen what Truant has seen. So we have the information that Stags doesn't have to this point.
I mean, it has not been proven that bait's required, but it is. We've got very strong evidence. And, you know, the other thing about the ladder is because that ladder block it's not just that ladder block right there. It also would give us the book for the map to give us a better idea of what we're getting into.
I don't think I saw either runner bomb in the bait block room.
That's a good point. You might be able to do that.
Because it would get you above the old man that is just to Stag's right at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it would lead you to the horizontal chute. So I feel like there's a possibility that we can get around it still. I think we're going to find out.
Yeah, looks like Stag's going to try that. Hey, look, it's a take any. They do exist. And the bait room is only up.
So will this be one of those mean seeds where the ladder to get the book is basically in level 5 and you have to get around via the bait block?
And with level 5 is close to started, and with the bait being sold like 2 screens away, you could do that off of a save. And if you use the bait and if it yields nothing, you can reset and get your money back. So I could definitely see either one of our runners making a play like that when they get the money for it. Because right now we're just not seeing a lot of secrets.
Yeah, maybe I'm just the weird one here, but I'm playing money making game pretty much immediately in this.
I think in this, I'm not a big fan of the money making game, but I think with the screen, I think you're right. In this particular seed, with the money that we haven't seen, yeah, I think that's a good play.
Yeah, if you hit it really early in the seed and one of your secrets ends up, or one of your money making game positives ends up in like the 60 or 70 range, you're almost inclined to just keep going at, because you could, with 2 bomb upgrades really early in dungeons, with a blue ring shop known, with an arrow and bait shop known, you could spend 7 or 8 minutes grinding money making game, have a bunch of bombs, have bait, have wood arrows, have you don't need keys in this one, but you could get yourself so many resources.
Yeah.
And in that time, your opponent sure will have some advantage in terms of the knowledge of the seed, but there's still also a chance that they're suffering with combat in specific dungeons being kind of bad, like, you know, walking out of the staircase and having Stalfos and Dark Nuts, and the Stalfos shooting sword beams, knocking your health down. You can't use sword beams anymore. So I think with this one, especially given where it's at, being so close, I think this is one of those specific seeds, as you said, where you have to at least consider it.
It looks like Truant's going to stay in this level 8 a little bit longer. We'll see if anything pays out. We could ignore this Gliok. This is a room that does not drop in 8. 1, 4, and 5 only. Now this room, on the other hand, is promising for a potential item. Another red herring. The seed has been full of them. And unfortunately, that was Truant's last bomb, so he can't check the bomb for a potential bomb wall in the room down lower than that. See if he goes back in. He is gonna probably try and make his way without taking the transport. Looks like Stags has made his way into Death Mountain. I'm gonna see a little bit more of this. We find level 4.
Yep, this could be potentially useful. We'll see what items in here, what enemy sets in here outside of the Dodongo.
None of the Red Darkness Truants was fighting drop a bomb, but we do get a bomb floor drop, so at least there's that. The NSU room is really great for fighting Dark Notes with the ladder, and actually pretty good. You can kind of hide in these corners and kill them and pick them off pretty easily, even if you don't have the ladder.
Yeah, the only downside to the NSU room without the ladder is if you are north entry, which is what got Stags in this room. You potentially just get pinned with how they route right off the bat.
Yep. Ignore this key, which is nice. And unfortunately, that doesn't bomb.
Talking about the money, I'm assuming we're talking about the door repairs. It's
15 to 25,
15 to
right?
20. Yeah, 15 to 25. The range is plus or minus 5 on that end.
Trick here is getting through. I think Truant wants to go through that key door. The trick is trying to get there without losing your sword.
Money or life might have been the question. I think it is. I want to say that's a 30 to 70 range. If I remember correctly, it can be really expensive or fairly tame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rick's saying the same thing, plus or minus 20.
Yeah, in this case, it's bombs or some of your any keys, so it's not going to be too bad.
That's one of my least favorite ones if I don't have the any key, and obviously if you have the any key, you just hope the mugger's asking for keys, and you just, here, take some keys, it's fine.
No, we
have
have
push block for Stags.
We also have the compass out of 8, so we know where that's at.
Oh, and there, yeah, we're gonna get simultaneous items. Stags finding the recorder, which very often used. Oh, Truant finding a wand. Now the recorder is pretty important and might be in this flag set with 10 recorder spots. That could very well be blocking one of our levels. But when you have no sword because of red bubbles, you are very happy to see that wand. Stack's gonna be done with this level 4 shortly. Picks up the Triforce. Oh, and Silver's an 8! Oh, Truant sticking in this dungeon, paying off.
Yep, we're going to have to find that bow. You can't throw those silvers, but if Stags decides to leave level 8 after getting the compass and the Triforce, that will hurt. Don't know if we've seen the route down to this. Might have been a bomb issue.
Yeah, so the route below the dash was not passable. Truant tried bombing down. I don't know if we've seen the route below the E. Nice free Triforce sitting on the floor, and Truant's done with level 8. Giving him a 4-2 Triforce lead. Still a lot of game to be played.
That's correct, and level 6, as you may recall, is 2 rooms in that blue
Yeah.
wizard room. Still don't have enough health on Stag's end to feel comfortable with that room, I would think, but
Yeah, 3 hearts is tough. Meanwhile, finding that another take any is up to 6 hearts, which is kind of where you want to be, where, you know, you'll be able to pick up that white sword item guaranteed. I wouldn't be surprised if the next take any he sees, he picks up a potion.
we've also got a good amount of our exploration done as far as dungeon knowledge is concerned. I think we're down to level 2, level 9, and the white sword item.
And the 20, I think that's the first bomb shop we've seen. 29 rupees. That's in a seed where we don't have a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna be buying a lot of bombs this seed, unfortunately. Okay, he's gonna go for the heart. Nothing wrong with that either. He also hasn't seen the mugger, so, you know, if the doesn't know that he's just gonna be able to give keys up. That kind of guards against the possibility of having to give a heart to a mugger.
All right,
You find level 2.
Yep, level 2, meaning level 9, I think, is the last dungeon. As we just noted a moment ago, also the white sword out there could be blocked and could be important. The white sword item, that is.
True, and trying that push block just in case level 2 is segmented. So often, when you push a block like that, you want it to push to get an item. In level 2, you hope it doesn't push. Nice early Triforce in a Wizrobe dungeon. But we're gonna keep looking for that floor item.
Yeah, we got 2 potential items that are really important, and we're going to get good luck with the Dodongos on the second time around. Potentially scary as the force feeding of the Dodongo probably would have been less concerning. Oh, more moves.
Ladder block into a room full of blue Wizrobes. You
go down here. Maybe there'll be a easier way around.
Get a free bomb pack. Not sure you needed it at the time, but fortunately took the bop from the red bubble.
Some open rooms here, so pretty good chance of an item, and it is
just
the raft.
Okay, so now we'll just go back, get the Triforce, and be done. Stag's finding a take any. Gonna pick up the heart for his first heart of the game. 37 minutes in, and you're finally at 4 hearts. That's not what you're hoping for. Still making pretty decent progress.
Yep, looking at these recorder spots, trying to find that white sword or 9, or in his case, I think level 2's something he doesn't know.
Yeah, I do like, and you get an item in a dungeon that's, especially one that's as far away from start as level 4 is. I do like making use of that immediately and hoping to gain some advantage off of it. Unfortunately, the only real advantage you can get is just knowledge of level 9, or well, no, that's not true. If the white sword item is important, that could be pretty big.
Yeah, a white sword ladder underneath a desert spot would be what Stags is really hoping to find. Level 9 or level 2 in his case again would be something he would hope for, but really just hoping for some big item to be blocked by this.
Truant's going to turn in this raft immediately. It's the last of our take. He's not the last for Stags, I don't think, but it's yeah, he's got 2 more, but the last to our knowledge of the take any's. And level 9 is under the raft. Oh boy.
I don't think that's going to be the big issue currently.
No. Yeah, Stags will find that raft, but it is the block that you kind of least expect. Although I know Mako was discussing it earlier this week, saying every seat he plays seems to have a raft block. But yeah, Truant still hasn't found level 4, I believe. And Stags is missing 2, and he'll find 2 shortly. And 9. And no one's found the white sword item.
We still may potentially not have access to it. There are two ladder spots, and I think something like 7 power bracelet spots, potentially.
That's right, 7 power bracelet spots. The 4 that are in first quest, plus the level 4 location, the letter cave, and the magic sword location. Now, in a mixed quest seed, I kind of like to try bombing those spots to know if they're going to bomb or not. Really no reason to do that in a 2Q only, because you know they're going to bomb. You just, you just do it when you have to check there. Dags, meanwhile, finds his way into level 2. Hopefully, he looks like he's going to find the raft first, as it is on this right side.
Yes, indeed.
It's either this room or the next one.
It's the gels right here. And that should turn him around, but may look for a free heart in a room or something like that.
Speaking of the power bracelet, it is the white sword item.
And forgotten spots, so that's explaining why Stags missed it. It's in one of those iffy spots to route in, especially without the ladder, if you're not super confident in screen wrapping, which I think both runners probably are, but may have routed just a little differently.
And we now know that there's nothing under it, because that was kind of our last bit of knowledge, is the white sword item. Truant's still looking for level 4, so of course picks it up. By the time Stags... Actually, I don't know if Stags will even find it. If he follows that raft immediately, he'll find level 9. And that should give him full dungeon knowledge. So only if he's looking for the bow as the white sword item, which would be a little unfortunate if he does. Or the ladder, I guess, too, because we... I'm not sure if we have ladder blocks yet, although level 7 was looking not great.
Yeah, there's a direction level 5 that's got some potential ladder blocks, and as you know, level 7 as well. The one thing the power bracelet spot may house is the large secret. I don't know that we've seen it.
I don't think we have.
So if we haven't seen that, the odds are going to be pretty good at this point, given the combined overworld clear.
Oh boy, quite the sniper squad at the power bracelet spot over there for Truant.
If we find it, we'll have to see if it's somewhere close to 50 or if it's closer to 150.
I mean, with as little money as we have right now, even if it's just 50, I'd be pretty happy just to find it. Truant, unfortunately, taking a sword from one of those Lionels. I'm just going to check some of these power bracelet spots, which unfortunately are... Well, I mean, yeah, like you say, yeah, there could be a... There could be something useful, but, at this point it would essentially be the large secret, or, a magic sword that I don't think we're going to get, because I have at 13 hearts guaranteed. Neither of our runners is particularly close to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess if you hit a big, large secret, let's say like 140, 130, somewhere way up there, does that... I guess it doesn't tempt me yet because of the bait requirement still potentially looming over our runners' heads, but do you go for defense with how much plink damage is on the overworld and how some of these dungeons so far have been less than kind? I mean, that's perhaps weighing on at least the runners' minds after a couple of deaths. second raft spot is just another one of those caves where we get nothing.
Yep. Taking the place of, I believe, taking the place of one of the, this is where your white sword is, this is where your magic sword is. You know, obviously, without hints, we're not going to get those. Wonder if Truant's going to go ahead and buy this bait and go, nope, looks, or maybe just, yeah, he might take the refill first. Maybe...
Mismark.
Yeah, mismark or misread. Fortunately, Truant doesn't need to buy the arrows. Hopefully, Stags picks up those silvers as well. Also, doesn't need to buy those arrows. Stags back in level 7.
If 7 isn't ladder blocked, and that's where the ladder is, that's one way to really get back into it fast. Not that he's out of it, but he is slightly behind at this point. And this Dig Dogger also could be a thing. I forgot about this.
Oh, that's right.
It won't be a
Good call on
staircase.
Stags' part.
Yeah, it won't be a staircase, but it could be a way around, or it could be a Triforce underneath.
I mean, yeah, just... Oh, and a map. That's good. A little surprised that Truant didn't go straight to level 5 with that bait. He maybe wants to find his last dungeon first. Know exactly what he needs to search out.
It's certainly a little bit interesting. I kind of tend to agree with checking right away.
Yeah, I would have done... I said it before. I would have bought the bait, immediately walked in. That way, if there's nothing behind the bait, I can just reset and get my money back, with the money being so tight this seed. Yeah, and one other thing I'll point out, the door repair message is so short, you can't even... There's not even time to up A and get out of it. And Truant is in the right area for level 4. And that'll be his last dungeon.
Staircase may help us out a little bit in 7.
No, help us get to the Triforce.
It's easy enough room. Yeah, I think you have to look. It does seemingly give you access east, so that's also positive. Still potentially a thing here where we have a Dig Dogger that is hard locking a ladder, so this Digifor may be very important.
Yeah, once that drop happened, that I do that all the time, where it's like you're getting ready to push the block and the drop hits, and you feel silly for pushing the block. In that room in particular, that means yeah, once you get the drop, not gonna push.
I do it more because I'm annoyed.
Fair. Goodness, we have the any key for that mugger.
Oh man, he took the fireball from the BMO statue and not from the manhandle. Oh, that saved him. Oof.
Making really good use of that wand.
Oh, are we ladder blocked out of the item in 7? We're getting close to ladder blocked out of it.
Sure, Truant
And
would have liked to have those bombs sitting on the floor, but not at the risk of losing the sword.
you can see a little bit of frustration now for Stags, at least, with maybe some frustration in his own combat in this room. But it's kind of one of the things about Randomizer. The more you kind of keep the level head, the more chances you give yourself to get back into it. So, time for a refresher and kind of calm yourself back down and go right back at it. As Truant picks up the recorder, so we'll be able to get the Triforce and get past the Dig Dogger block in the 7 if your recalls it being there.
Yeah, with that bait, he might go ahead and go to 5 first. We're down to bow and ladder as far as our what we call our important items, and we're down to 7 and 5. Are we just down? Oh, 6. We haven't gotten the item out of 6, so 5, 6, and 7. Everybody's favorite dungeons to dig, right?
Yep, and it looks like you have to go from the south here. What was it, a bunch of virus we didn't want to kill earlier? I'm gonna go Zelda's room.
No, the fires are going down to a bomb. Okay, that's good. Especially good news for Truant, because he can use if he times the wand white sword hit together, he will be able to outright kill the virus without using up bombs.
Zelda's room was the winner there for that mystery behind the shutter door.
Thankfully, we didn't get locked in. Nothing more annoying than getting locked into a room that doesn't drop that you have to kill the enemies for.
Alright, we are ladder blocked out of 4 rooms and 7 for sure. This right-hand staircase blocks you from going right here. And there's a double moat room under the dash column. There's another heart. We're up to 8. I mean, stranger things have happened. We might actually get there. Alright, so we are ladder blocked out of the item, but not the Triforce. We may have to revisit this dungeon for a bow that's ladder blocked.
Yeah, we are getting to that point. We might be having to make the decision between a level 6 and a level 7 to go back into for a bow. Important items not able to be a 9 in this flag set. Stags, of course, hasn't done 8, so I imagine that'll be on his agenda relatively soon.
Yeah, given where he is in the overworld, that's probably a good guess. Not going to route in the raft spot just yet. Don't think he's seen that 9 is out there.
You're never going to be closer to it, so I imagine... I mean, I guess you could route in with picking up the book later. Especially now that you have the Triforce to recorder back here. But it looks like he's just going to do it now. I want to do that one recorder spot.
It'll be interesting to see who gets into 5 first. If Stags decides not to go into 8 here and goes to buy the bait, that could be another way to kind of speed up his run and maybe get a little bit of ground made up. Truant, meanwhile, I don't think went through the staircase, so is going to find out that this just turns him around. Yeah, now knows that he has to go to the east in this dungeon, and as we know, that's it's about a 2 or 3 minute time sink if he goes that way.
Easy for me to say that leave it, I would leave here, but knowing a little bit more about the dungeon, but I mean, it is level 7. It is a big dungeon. I could definitely defend leaving here, and Stags is indeed going into level 8. If he digs out both items, he'll be happy he did. The wand being a nice combat upgrade, more importantly, would find the silvers. Buy this bomb upgrade? Nope, not gonna. Yeah. Knows he's not gonna be getting a whole lot of extra money beyond this point, now that he knows where all the dungeons are. So he is not gonna buy the bomb upgrade, and I think that's, unfortunately, as much as I like to see a good bomb upgrade, I think that's the right choice in this flag, in this seed, in this flag set.
So do we bomb down in this? No, we can get around.
We've seen this room for sure.
Yeah, he knows. I believe the room below is a Gliok room, and you have to bomb through it. Unfortunately, turning around here, is there a bubble over here? Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a. He has to take the Stags has to take the transport to get to the. Well, maybe not, but because I don't know about that column under the right E, but this dash column is gonna block. He's not gonna be able to get all the way through. And trying everything at his disposal to try and get through and find the item here in this level 7. Runs into the ladder block. Probably that room under the 7 at this point. I guess there's a couple rooms above here as well.
Yeah. Now knows he has to turn around and give up on 7 momentarily.
So he will be the first one back into 5. The question is 5 the answer or is 6 the answer? We didn't see a lot of rooms in 6. We don't know what the map looks like. And probably a bigger dungeon than this 7 is. Though it doesn't have to be. He's gonna check a little bit more.
There are a couple rooms left.
Yeah. Maybe he hasn't tried bombing into that room, that little, segment of rooms from the right, or from the left to the right.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't realize that the right-hand staircase is prohibiting any advancement that way.
Yep.
Stags bombs up past the Triforce. This is potentially bad here. Yep, gonna take the Triforce and potentially run for now. That, as we know, is not going to be beneficial to seed completion. Or it's just going for a sword and a redive. Hopefully that's it. Nope. Recorder's out.
Right, he hadn't seen Zelda's room. Okay. Now he knows he's done. And there's nothing for him to do but level 5. Stags has other choices. Still needs to get the Triforce out of 3. Needs to get the Triforce out of 6. The 6 Triforce is very, very quick. The 3 one is not. And of course, we don't know what the item is in 6. Interestingly enough, if we get an item that is not the bow or the ladder here, then we just know at that point we have to do 6 and 7.
Yeah, at that point, we'd have full information. We'd have guaranteed ladder in 6. We'd have guaranteed bow in 7, and we know red ring and whatever, whatever of the red candle, red ring, and heart.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Would be a 9.
Ooh, gosh.
Oh.
This could be the item here. Also, I do believe that Triforce is in that ladder block room, so I think we are going to need the ladder for the Triforce out of 5 regardless. I do remember that they went down a column. It may or may not have been this L column. At the very bottom was a single river room.
Oh, we're out of bombs. This is going to be rough from here. Stag's going to collect the Triforce with full health. We'll make it.
This is where it gets kind of tricky, because you're like, you'd love to save the room, but you also have done some damage on these Wizrobes, so ideally you want to try and finish them off. If I get down to a half a heart, I might save the room and tackle 1 or 2 with the white sword.
Yeah, we definitely have enough health where we can take some liberty still. 2 hearts of damage is not enough to kill. Stags is, I think,
Actually, for
cleared.
level 6.
Yeah, we've cleared this room before. This is a push block that refuses to push.
I do think Truant has done more of 6 than Stags has. Oh, nicely done, Truant. And it should be the item unless we're segmented. It is the bow.
So we know by default now that the 7 redive is not required, and Stags is in the dungeon where the ladder is. Still some intrigue as to what will be a 9, though, because we probably aren't going to see what's in 7.
Okay, so that Triforce maybe isn't in the river room, because I want to say this column right here the Truant went down. Yeah, this is the room I was talking about, but we might still need to go through it.
Yeah, I think definitely have to go to 6 to get back to 5 to get the Triforce.
Yeah, I think so. And Truant's got to know that, because looks like Stag's giving up on 6. Oh no, Truant wants some bombs. And he wants to bomb here.
Does
work. Bomb. And can we go down 1 more? We can. Oh my god. We can!
That expression said it all.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna... Yeah, he might come back here later with some bombs.
Well, he could just get the refill, a pack of bombs, and go in there and just brute force, and then just jet it to 9 and hope.
He could. I mean, there's nothing automatically requiring that there is a ladder block. Especially given the size of, given that we don't know the size of 6, we don't know, we don't have the map. We know we can't get the book for it because the book is ladder blocked. I'm gonna go for it with 3 bombs. Oh, this is rough because there's nowhere to hide. There's still nowhere to hide, but we're gonna try. This is smart. Okay, so now he's gonna try going down this way and see if we can get in from the other side.
Nope.
Oh, very, very smart idea that did not work out, unfortunately. You get to see the map.
Looks like a level 8.
So we either have to do the combat or we have to get the ladder. There's just the 2 options. And that is a difficult room to do. Because there's just nowhere to hide. There's no doorways to hide into.
It is doable, though.
It is very doable. Entrance says, "Screw this! I'm gonna go get my ladder. I know where it is." And by where it is, I know which dungeon it is. And we'll probably never see the item out of 7 because at this point, I mean, a red ring would be nice. The other items, you're not going to dig just for a red ring when it slightly higher odds that it's one of your other items.
Yeah, I think the only shot you had at seeing it was if Stags didn't go back to 8 this early, and had 7 and 8 on the table, with 7 having 4 rooms left, as we do find the ladder.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Let's see where it was on the map here. It was not off the beaten path. It was just straight up.
Yep, straight up. There might have been a bomb hole. I'm not sure. Yeah, Truant's gonna go right back to level 5, get his Triforce out of there. And the nice thing here is now you don't have to worry about the troll of the no ladder blocks in 9 until Zelda decides to be in a Chevy room.
Be interesting to see what room this Triforce is in 5 as well. It would have been really, really funny, for me at least, if the combat was successful in the Blue Wizard room, just to have a moat block anyways. Truant is not going to take the combat route, though. Going to go straight down, hope to get some bomb drops, and get nothing.
The Red Wizard's not being kind. Huh. And just an NSU room full of blue moblins. Maybe we get some bombs over here. And no, we don't get bombs.
I think Stags is getting close to the first item in 8, which is the wand. And I would guess would probably bomb left after this.
The nice thing, and really for both our runners, but Truant in particular right now, he's going to be able to recorder to 7. He can pick up the book immediately, so he can have the map to 9, and then just go straight to 9. Just the very nice proximity of things there. Record 8, that works too. I don't know if Truant's one of those anti-wand fire people. I mean, I personally prefer in general not to have wand fire, but there are some enemies where it's really is kind of nice. Plus, and there's the silvers for Stags. Plus the map to 9. Like there's no way I'm skipping that book.
Yeah, I might look around a little bit. Sometimes there's a really early map that you can find in here, or maybe it's just free. The game gives you Zelda and Ganon pretty quick.
Oh, and guess who's in the dungeon once again?
Is that a roar I heard? Oh, yes. So up or right from this room?
If we can go in those directions. See if this is it. Yep, it is. One water room where the water just doesn't matter that much.
It potentially could if that shadow door afterwards ends up being the way. It would have been
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, Truant didn't get no letter, and the last take any is under a recorder spot, and by then he'd already seen everything. So we'll have to go ahead and try this again.
Yep. Ganon does kind of run you over if you have the green tunic, or I guess in Truant's case, he got top roped here. Round 2. I would say my least favorite strategy for a Ganon fight is killing or trying to hit him on the bottom of the room or on the far left or far right, facing up, down on the far left or far right. The odds are far greater that you're going to get a driver if you stand in those spots and don't swing kind of inwards.
I kill these moblins, try and get a little more health if I can. Right now, he can't take a Ganon hit at all.
Well, this spawn is really generous. You can swipe down on the tile and go left and hit and hope. Nope. But now the pattern's reset to a normalized pattern, so you can potentially stun lock. He's just a half tile low to stun lock there. We get a shot here and spawn to the right. Ooh, he's half tile low.
Thought he had it for a second. There we go.
Well,
is Zelda in the next room?
Yeah, is it an Insta Zelda, and is it a BMOS room? Well, it's a BMOS room and no instant Zelda. Oh boy. A little bit of a scary room on this much health. Not so much from the beams, but more from just walking into one when they spawn.
And of course, every time you see a shutter, you expect it to open. Of course, it doesn't. And then, of course, in that one, the back shutter closes on you as well. Stag's gonna buy that meat. Has also sussed out that that's probably important. Meat did end up being required for the item, which was the bow.
We're still not guaranteed a ladder block in the seed, though. This part of 9 through Gan's room was ladder blocked, but we didn't look at all the potential ways around.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna decide to take a staircase or two.
Yeah, either that or get a bomb drop and bomb the walls. Nope, not gonna bomb the walls. Gonna shoot away. Getting low on money now, so gotta be a little careful.
That is not gonna push.
Those who are a bit more superstitious amongst the runners see that only left entranceway and immediately feel like there's something being blocked away from us.
Oh, Stag's got the letters somewhere. So I saw 50-something and 83, I think, for the potion, so a churn wouldn't even be able to afford it.
It could have almost afforded the single blue potion, but since firing off arrows has now definitely gone below. He's already moving up in that room, hoping.
Oh, jeez. Always a little scary when you walk into the room like that, with the Wizrows firing.
The 8 room, and at this point, not that it's necessarily a fun time, but you almost maybe when he runs out of bombs, if he runs out of bombs, do you then go get bombs and the map?
Well, if you need the bomb upgrade, you can't afford it, but
Well,
the bomb price was pretty high too, if I remember correctly, for the bomb shop. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you go farm outside of the overworld, hope for an easier farm tile, and there's a book out there still, so you maybe pick that up to get a real idea of how many rooms left are.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Here goes Stags for the bow. This should guarantee him his item knowledge. Oh boy, another one of these. Now we're kind of retracing back up.
It wouldn't surprise me if one of those wizard rooms held the map too.
Yeah, it feels like you gotta go through Gan's room and try and force your way down. It feels like not being able to go right at start here is really, really suspect to me still.
Yep. We're gonna take this nope, we're gonna go through the door. We are gonna take the transport, okay.
Yeah, level 9 definitely has that corner drop, so there's a chance that it could be a compass or something.
Compass or map would be useful at this point. And of course, if you're truant, you don't know that Stags is 2 Triforces behind you. And if you watch if I'm not mistaken, in the Stags Jurus race, I want to say Jurus had a bit of a lead going into level 9.
Yeah, the downside to level 9 in that race was it was Patra infested, and the staircase that was presumably hard required was a spiral Patra that on a green tunic you could not really navigate so easily. Even with a red candle, that's a lot of candle boosting and not taking damage on 3 hearts, so it was very tough for Driss to get through that, and what Stags had that led ultimately to victory, in my opinion, was the blue ring to afford him the opportunity to just face tank anything.
Gotcha.
Bomb right. Oh, Stags is going back to 7. There it is.
There it is.
To the right of start,
Yep.
It was.
Get your GGs out for TruantGamer, finishing with an official race time of 1:15:52. And that puts him at 2-0. Stags will go to 1-1.
Yeah, we should see Stags carry on here. There is a time. The time deficit, I think, is the big tiebreaker in this one after record, of course. So he'll carry on for at least another 15 minutes and try and solve it. Yeah, just pausing and looking at the map and kind of realizing again that this was not where the answer was. I think this should now lead him back into 6. So that's basically the only option left.
We are joined by TruantGamer, our winner. GG's.
Thank you.
A little tired of some blue wizards today.
Yeah, that room of the Triforce, I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. And then, but what if I bomb around it and then go in there? I'm like, hey, that worked. And then the same exact room below it. I'm like, ah, man. And then I think I took 3 face tanks, and I said, this ain't gonna happen. Let's just go. We know ladders in 6. Let's just do that because I'm probably gonna need it for 9 anyways.
Yeah, actually, I'm not even sure. Did you need it for 9? I'm not sure.
Did not.
Of course not.
Did you though? I feel like it was a right side moat room both below Ganon and in Ganon's room to get to the Zelda.
Maybe it was. Could have been. I don't know. I have to look back and see. There's a lot to forget about that seed.
Yeah, well, little surprised you didn't pick up the book going into 9. Especially
Yeah, I got
the recorder to 7 instead of 8. It's one screen.
So I came out of 5 and I started recording and I saw that Tektite coming and I'm like, you better not get me. And I was like, I'll just back up. He'll jump over me. And then he jumped again and bought me. So I moved to the next screen and then went back to 7 to 8 and said, oh, I should have just went to 7. They're the same distance. Not even thinking about the book. Get into 9, get to the room before Ganon. And I'm like, he's either left, right, or up. Man, I wish I had a book. And I just never went back for it. I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to live with it at this point. And I was getting itchy after I made that big long loop around and found that key in that room. And like, I really should go get the book. And it was one of those: do I do it or do I not? And I didn't really want to make the gamble at that point. She couldn't be that hidden.
Yeah, I was surmising at least that if you ran out of bombs and had to leave to go farm somewhere, you might have made the small trek down, but otherwise, you were just kind of hoping it would work out.
I almost did leave for bombs. I wasn't sure off the top of my head what was nearby to farm, but I did take a red bubble bop, and at that point, I wasn't sure where the next closest blue bubble was. I did consider an up A and then recording back. But I just said at this point, let me just bomb a few more rooms because I have a couple bombs. And then I looked at my map and saw that room below the room that led to Ganon, I didn't bomb right in. And as I heard you on Restream saying, the superstition of it being around the entrance when it's blocked. I was like, well, sometimes it's here. And I think she was.
Yep,
I think that's what it turned out to be.
Yeah, to the right of it.
Yeah, legitimately to the room to the right of the old man at start.
What really scared me was when I got all the way up to on the left side, zigzagging around, and I pulled up my map and I said, oh, I never checked that bottom corner room. I really need to go back and check that because I tend to leave little rooms like that here and there, and they bite me all the time. Like, I gotta go do it. I don't know how close Stags is.
Yeah, this seed was really interesting in a lot of ways, though. I mean, the required bait block for the bow, basically no money in the seed, so you had to buy the bait. Fortunately, you didn't have to buy arrows. Fortunately, you didn't have to buy keys, and you never found the letter or the last take any, so you didn't even have the option for a potion.
Yeah, Silvers, I feel, was I don't want to say I lucked into it, but I definitely right-wayed finding that as early as I did. I found all those dungeons that were early, and then when I went to the bottom right of the map and found 3 and then found 7, like, I'm going to be done early. And as I was going through, I think I was in 8, and then I found Silvers. I'm like, this is really going too fast. What's going to bite me? And I knew 4 was still outstanding. 4 and 2 were outstanding, and then I found 2, got out of that pretty quick, and I wasn't sure quite where 4 was. I still had quite a bit of the map to explore, and I was worried about recorder because I knew I needed that for 7 anyways. At some point, I think I realized, like, I'm missing bow, recorder, what was it, bow... I think it was bow, ladder, and something, and I knew 2 of them obviously it can't be a 9, so I had to look for it, and kind of made it a little easy at the end, but it really ground down to a slog at the end there, just fighting through.
And we are bringing in Stags now. He is going to run through this 9 a little bit, looks like, but not quite going to finish. GG, Stags.
Yep, thank you. I'm TG's TruantGamer.
Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you for showing us the map.
Oh boy.
With that kind of map, I'm almost happier not to have it. So maybe you were better off.
Yeah, I don't know how much good it would have did me, anyways. Like, there's not much missing there.
Yeah, there's that little hole there.
I mean, you get the right row for free, or the right column.
Yeah, we were just talking about the lack of money. Got to buy bait. You both end up buying candles as well. Although, if it was too late by the time each of you got to the white sword to retry or restart into the free candle at the wood sword cave, which is a little unfortunate, but
Yeah, I think I had 3 or 4 Triforces at
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like, man, I should retry. I'm like, no, I shouldn't, because I just did a lot of work, and I'm not doing that again.
No, absolutely not.
Yep, so kind of a rehash, I guess, how this one went. There were a couple of divergences after mostly kind of following each other's footsteps. I mean, if you go left at start, there's just a lot to look at there. So you both kind of looked through some of the dungeons. We got to see the always fun 0 heart Triforce pickup from Truant when he got zapped at the same time he picked up the Triforce. So that was cool. But I think the early divergence that we saw was a any key get early in one for Truant versus a early recorder for Stags out of 4 going to Death Mountain a lot earlier.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the recorder outside of getting you through level 7, which had a Triforce but a ladder blocked unknown item, red candle, red ring, or heart, didn't really give you a ton extra that I can remember. There's like a take any one in the desert, and I'm not sure what else was out there. But it seemed like that was a potential for you to make up a little bit of the ground you lost with the lack of any key at your disposal for a little bit. And then both of you kind of went back and forth. I think the silvers at 8 was about a 20-minute gap, but again, you had the full overworld clear at that point on most Stags, so it was still potential to come back at that point. The coup de grace, I guess, in this one was the ladder location at 6 being kind of free to the both of you, but Truant went back there just a little bit earlier. Of course, still having to know that it had to be there at that point, but just getting back there a little bit quicker. And of course, that was the final nail. I think I'm still going to bet that Zelda is ladder blocked in this one. Just looking at the map and the inability to bomb up here.
Yeah, not going back for the ladder. That was a big one for me, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I knew that it was key blocked, or I had a pretty good idea that there was a key block up there. But for whatever reason, I was thinking that it was ladder blocked, that you couldn't get up there. So I didn't have keys when I was there the first time, and I didn't have the ladder, obviously. So I didn't pay too much concern with it. And then when I got back there with the any key, I was really frustrated with myself.
Oh, hey, this staircase may actually get you around the ladder block. We're seeing something for the first time in this 9.
Well, here's where you're going to find out that the red candle is not in 7.
So it becomes a 50-50 for the
Red ring versus heart.
So, yeah, at this point, I knew where Ganon was, but I know that I'm not strong enough to be able to take on Ganon with no ring and just not enough hearts and white sword. So I was spending a little bit of time looking for a red ring just in case.
Yep, a far cry from Truant's perfect Ganon strats.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, there were no perfect Ganon strats for me. I didn't actually get one hit on Ganon.
It was more of a meme. Truant also had a bit of a struggle the first 2 times around. He got top roped, as we like to say, by Ganon on the first attempt. Just kind of ran after him. Second attempt, he was slicing on the bottom rope, hoping to catch him, and got drivered again. Third time was pretty scary, but made it work, so that's all that counts.
It was cosmic balance for my perfect fight last night. I need to clip that, because that was study in how to fight Ganon, and this was
Nice. I'll look forward to seeing that.
Well, if it's lost to time, you can always find Shaddy's stream. Alright, enough shade on Ganon stuff. This is where I thought it was ladder block, but I'm beginning to think that that staircase that Stags found might get you there still. So maybe it was ladderless.
Was Zelda just to the right there?
Yeah.
No.
Well.
Oh no, not just to the right. It's she was to the right of the start room, we think.
Yeah, so she would have been. That was right above the old man. So yeah, actually, she would have been. If you bombed to the right there and go down one, that was her. So that was where it was.
Well, here as I'm throwing in the towel officially there, I want to thank you, Tracy and Fury, for being in here on comms. I didn't have much delusions of making brackets. For me, really, it's being able to get into a race with really good runners and be able to see different things that I could do differently.
Cool.
So, being able to have comms to go back and watch and have various things pointed out is invaluable, and I thank you so much for all of your time in volunteering for this.
No problems at all. I really don't think there's a lot that went wrong here. I think the only thing that I may have considered doing if I were racing in this one, I probably would have checked the money-making game out just to see how easily it was to farm it. That could have gone for either runner, really, because there was a lot of screens in this overworld with either Lionels or Gorillas, and they were key screens or screens that had a lot of connection points. And so if that money-making game has, if it's only like a plus 30 and a bunch of negative 30s, then obviously you can't farm it. But if it just so happens that it's like a 50 plus value, even if it's like just barely above 50, that is something you can look at. But again, both runners in this one had to deal with the same kind of situation, which was Red Ring presumably either ladder blocked and still semi-buried in 7 or buried away in 9, knowing luck being the way it is, probably deep in 9.
And of course, not enough money to even consider a blue ring. Somewhere out there's a large secret. We'll never know what it is.
I'm guessing it's power bracelet block.
I'm going to bet it's actually one of the River Road spots at this point.
Oh, that would make sense.
Because I think Truant had the power bracelet from the old man, which was at Forgotten Spot for the White Sword item.
Yes.
I don't know if you got all the spots, but you got a lot of them.
I don't think I checked the northwest corner spots. I think I found 4 before that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there was only like, 1 or 2 power bracelet spots for you left, and then we had the flute spots, I think all of them uncovered. Unless Vanilla 2 didn't get checked, but I feel like we covered them all.
I did check that one.
Yeah, so then I think we were basically 50-50'd into River Road versus power bracelet spots, so who knows. Definitely wasn't the other raft spot, it was just a useless hint. But yeah, I mean, still 1-1, still life ahead on this group stage. If you play the way you did tonight, you play the way you did tonight, and the way you played against Druis, you never know. I mean, the way I look at it is I look at where you were probably 6 to 12 months ago, kind of competing in the winter tournament versus where you are now. And that's something to hang your hat on is, again, you look at the change in your times between those and kind of how close you are to either beating or, in fact, beating people in this field that you think, for some reason, are way better than you when they're, in fact, if they are better than you, it's not nearly the margin you think anymore.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. I do remember you specifically pointing out how quickly the learning curve gets when you're starting to pick things up. So I just want to keep pushing that along, and hopefully I get there when I get there.
Yep. We'll see.
GG's again. GG's again, TruantGamer.
Yeah, GG's.
Yep. Well, I'll continue adding this to my scouting report, and I guess I'll try and figure out when we have time for the race between me and Stags and me and Truant. Get those on schedule. Quite a few matches left in this group, besides those two, of course.
But we do have one. The next, well, okay. So first of all, we do have a race going on right now over on Speedgaming 4, the Pirate Cheap versus Chrono JJ. But tomorrow, leading off the coverage, I will be calling this race. We'll see if I get a partner or not. But Drewis and Fury SK, Fury gonna make his debut for the SGLIVE 2024 tournament, and we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be a fun one to call, I think. So. Some other races on the schedule tomorrow, starting at 9:15, with Bomby versus Rando Run. I don't know what all is going to get a restream, but we've already got this one on the schedule, so I'm going to shout it out.
Yep, it looks like there's some opportunities on the schedule to fit some matches in there, so we'll see how many crews we get going. Maybe we'll get them all. Maybe we'll get a couple of them.
Yeah, hopefully we get at least one or two, because it's always fun to sit back, relax, and watch some of these races.
Yep, especially after I'm 0-1, after Drewis teaches me some lessons.
It'll be a good one either way. Anything else anyone wants to add before we go ahead and close it out? All right. Looks like everybody said everything they've got to say. Again, thank you to everyone, our runners, Truant and Stags. If you're not already following them, I will go ahead and put the command in chat for you to click on those links. And of course, can't do this without our trackers, Neo Nonane. Our tracker tonight, can't do without him, so thank you very much to him. And of course, Fury, always a pleasure to do commentary with you.
Yep, always fun.
And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Head on over to Speedgaming 4, catch the end of that race. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.